Now, you might have already heard the news, but an XXXTentacion and Juice WRLD collab is on the way. It's currently in the works, no cap, so yeah. Let's talk about it. Now, Juice WRLD and XXXTentacion, two artists who've always been placed in the same box musically speaking. These are, of course, two guys who dominated the game when they were here. But an X and Juice collab though, is that something that we're gonna see in the future? Actually, yes, and that was revealed the other day by DJ Scheme. DJ Scheme was a close friend of both X and Juice. He's a producer, DJ, curator, definitely an influential figure in the whole Florida scene of hip-hop. He put up this very simple tweet saying, "Bad Vibes 999," and I don't think I have to explain that too much. Bad Vibes is of course X's movement, brand, and something X had tattooed on him, and 999 is Juice WRLD's representation of turning something negative into something positive. Anyway, this tweet from DJ Scheme is a little tease of what's to come in the future, aka that XXXTentacion and Juice WRLD collab. I did have a little something to say about it on Twitter, but I do want to elaborate on it in a video. As a lot of you know, I've been very outspoken about the way X's legacy has been getting handled in the past, but I think everything that went on with X, as far as, you know, simply put, the milking of his brand, definitely showed a lot of us that ain't no love in the industry. It's strictly business, which I don't have anything against, but it doesn't mean that I'm gonna sit and not call it for what it is. The fact that Bad Vibes Forever is even a thing tells us everything we need to know. I think that album is the definition of we don't really care about what we put out, as long as we put out an album on his name, that's all that matters. It was an album that sounded nothing but unfinished. It was full of songs that sounded like snippets, which Skins had a lot of as well. That's a big reason why I didn't like that project. I feel like most of us can agree on the fact that X's legacy was not handled with care, unfortunately. On the other hand, when it comes to Juice WRLD, I haven't really seen anything that's made me go, that's definitely not it. Legends Never Die sounded very much finished, and I'm pretty sure that it was. All around, it was an okay album. It sounded like something Juice WRLD would actually release if he was here, which I'm happy to see. My fear after Juice WRLD passed away was that his legacy would end up like X's, which it definitely did not. That's a good thing. But as far as this collaboration though, I can't say that I didn't see it coming. X and Juice are two artists who, like I said at the beginning of this video, they've always been placed in the same kind of box. They've both been dominating the same kind of lane. Unfortunately, they never got the chance to collaborate while they were both here. I think there's a lot of incentive for the labels to make this collaboration happen. It's the same thing with that X and Peep collab, Falling Down. Despite that song actually turning out great, there was a lot of history, confusion, and tension between X and Peep when they were both here, and this was something X actually spoke about when he was alive. According to X, he didn't mess with Lil Peep out of loyalty for Ski Mask the Slump God, because Ski Mask and Peep had some issues in the past.
Ski had beef with Lil Peep back in the day, and that's why I never co-signed him, I never talked to him, I would never do anything with him. But we had similar friends, we knew similar people, and all I would hear was good things about him. But due to my loyalty to Ski, I would not fuck with, bro. So, with Lil Peep, the reason I felt the need to say something was because I felt a form of guilt. I felt not only a form of guilt, and I wanted to, the word is not reconcile, but I wanted to fix that. I wanted to fix that feeling in a proper way.
Now, what X was talking about when he said fix things is this. This right here is X paying his condolences to Peep when he unfortunately passed away. Yes, they weren't on good terms when they were both alive, but he felt the need to, like he said, fix things. And that animosity he had towards him wasn't enough to make him stay angry at Lil Peep even after he passed away. I think X did the right thing by not holding that grudge towards Peep. And by the way, it wasn't only X who had that animosity towards Peep. Several of Lil Peep's friends have made it public that Lil Peep didn't like X as well, so that bad blood and hostility was definitely mutual.
He explicitly rejected XXX for his abuse of women, spent time and money getting XXX's songs removed from his Spotify playlist, and wouldn't have co-signed that song. Don't listen to it. People trying to make money off of him. He never would have signed up for that. He did not like XXXTentacion. I know a lot of fans cross over, but this is dead wrong. If you have an ounce of respect for him and the person he was and his politics, ignore it.
Now that was something Fishnark, a close friend of Lil Peep, had to say when the song was about to get released. Lil Tracy also put up this tweet the same day the song was dropping, making it very clear that they didn't like each other and he was a really close friend of Lil Peep. Now why exactly am I bringing all this up in a video about an X and Juice collaboration being in the works? Well, because for starters, the only priority the industry has is to, let's keep it real, make money off of the music. That's just what it is. A Lil Peep and X collaboration existing despite their history should tell you everything you need to know. I personally think in cases like this where posthumous music ends up being released between two artists who are gone will 9 times out of 10 disappoint the real fans. I'm not talking about the casual Juice listeners or the casual X listeners, because the percentage of people who even care to think twice about whether or not they actually want to see this collaboration happen is extremely small. Just get that straight. And I think this conversation is really important to have because we're gonna see this movie again in the future. But there's a huge incentive here, which is always gonna be the money, right? I'm not here to ruin this moment for the people who actually want to see this collaboration happen. That's definitely not my intention, but I will say this. At the end, I hope it does both X and Juice justice. I hope whatever the song sounds like, it actually aligns with both of them as artists. I hope the song doesn't sound altered for the radio, because keep in mind, this moment right here is gonna be a gold mine for both labels. We're talking about a song that's potentially gonna cross 1 billion streams. Now I'm saying that without even me knowing what the song sounds like, but I'm saying that because those are the kind of numbers guys like Juice and X have been putting up with their catalog. And also I want to mention another really important conversation here, and it's this. Right here in the middle of this situation, we of course have someone like DJ Scheme, who of course was the one who teased this record, right? And I'm very happy that he was the one who did it, because that means that he's most likely overseeing this process. He's someone who was a close friend of both X and Juice, which means he has both of their best interests at heart. I'm pretty sure that John Cunningham is also involved in this process. If you don't know who that is, he's a producer who worked very closely with X, executive produced the Question Mark album, so he's someone who X put a lot of trust into. I'm mentioning them for a reason, and it's this. A lot of times the people we, the outsiders, think have the most amount of influence in a process like this are not actually the ones who have the most influence. Now maybe you're scratching your head right now thinking, what the fuck is this nigga Blackie actually saying? Well, let me explain what I mean. 50 Cent, as a lot of people already know, was the executive producer of Pop Smoke's album Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon. 50 Cent was one of Pop Smoke's biggest inspirations, so it only makes sense. But right after the project dropped, 50 Cent put up this caption on Instagram saying, "I'm really not feeling the way the guys involved with Pop's project are handling things. I got it to this point, it's gonna be the #1 album, that's good enough, right? I'm gonna be unavailable moving forward." Now here we have 50 Cent, an OG in the game, who was the executive producer for Pop Smoke's album, talking about, I'm not really liking the way these people are handling the project. So he decided to chuck those deuces up and decided to take a step back from the creation of the project, most likely because it would be kind of intrusive for him to tell them what to do, right? 50 Cent stepped up as the executive producer for the project because he just had so much love for Pop Smoke, not because he was trying to get a check from it. As a matter of fact, none of the revenue from Pop Smoke's album actually went to 50 Cent, and that actually tells us a lot. But this is what I was talking about. 50 Cent is a man of great influence, but even he didn't have that much power over the process for an album he was the executive producer for. And 50 Cent isn't just anybody. We're talking about 50 Cent here, okay? That in itself tells me a lot, and I hope the direction this Juice and X collab ends up going in benefits both of them. My take on posthumous music getting released still hasn't changed. If it was up to me, I'd say keep it. I'm personally completely fine with not ever getting any new Juice WRLD or XXXTentacion music. The music they dropped while they were alive and standing is enough for me, but I know that everyone doesn't think like that. But yeah, hopefully the song that ends up dropping at least does both of them justice. Depending on if I have something to say about it when it does end up getting released, I'll make a video on it. Until then, what do you think about this entire Juice WRLD and XXXTentacion collaboration that's currently in the works? Is this something that you're excited to hear? Are you personally an advocate for posthumous music releases? In this case, a collaboration between X and Juice, or not? Definitely let me know in the comment section below and let's have a discussion about this.